Something I've been thinking about over the past couple of months is how aging naturally is really having a moment on Instagram, especially with midlife influencers. And I love it, I really do, but I do think that we're missing something because while all these midlife influencers are talking about skin and hair and things not to do, I think we're missing the mark on the thing that really changes for women in midlife. So today I want to chat with you while I finish up this porch project about why I think being strong is the new pretty. So today I'm finally finishing up a project that I started last summer, and that is remodeling my screened-in porch area. And today specifically, we are working on setting up an area for me to be able to work out in, because I have so much space out here that I have enough room for my living room part of the porch, and now I'm kind of fixing up my home gym part of the porch. And I just have really, I'm not a big go to a formal gym kind of person. It doesn't work for me. That takes far too much dedication. And honestly, for me, I need to make working out as uncomplicated as possible. I need it to be where I can come out here basically in my pajamas almost and do my little workouts and then get on with my day. If I'm gonna have to get dressed, go to a gym, work out at the gym, maybe shower there and come home, that just takes up far too much of my day that I am willing to give up for working out these days. I do it for my hot yoga classes, but that's something different. But to get my strength training in, I know that I need to make it super easy for me. So I am putting together a couple of cabinets. Well, I'm going to do this little entry table cabinet, and then I have a storage bench that I'm going to put together, and then I'm going to set up this area. I'm going to have my mats out here and my weights and everything. That is what I am envisioning, being able to have this space specifically for working out. Currently, I'm doing it in my living room, which is fine. Again, with as small a space as I have, it's fine for me to work out in the living room. And in the winter, I'm still going to have to work out in the living room. But it's kind of a pain. I have to move a lot of stuff around every morning when I go to do my workout in order for me to be able to do my workout in there. So I'm hoping that this makes it even easier to get out here and do my workout in the mornings. This furniture comes with kind of these boring little silver knobs for this cabinet. I might change these out for something that's a little more coastal, let's say, maybe a little more beachy, because they are really kind of plain. I have some really pretty starfish ones in my kitchen, and maybe I will use those in place of these. Definitely, I probably need something that is going to be, oops, gosh, dropped it, that is going to be, that's not going to rust, because I have a feeling these might not stand up to all of the salt air. You guys, y'all, my nails have gotten wrecked out here today. I was cleaning all of the woodwork that goes around where the screens are, because it gets nasty in here over the winter and the spring when the wind is blowing and it blows all the dirt and pollen and stuff. So I scrubbed all of those down, and clearly my fingernails did not like that. They are a mess. I'm going to have to redo them tonight. I don't know about you, but over on Instagram and somewhat on YouTube too, it feels like the whole aging naturally movement is in full force. And I am, for the most part, I am behind it. But I do have some thoughts on how the aging naturally movement is being done. And most of it is focused on like not coloring your hair, which I have clearly made that choice for myself. And some others are, people talking about not having Botox or fillers or whatever. Honestly, I am a proponent of aging however you want to age. If you want to color your hair, color your hair. If you want to do Botox, do Botox. I think whatever makes you feel happy when you look in the mirror and see the person that you want to see staring back at you, I think whatever you want to do is perfectly fine. I know there's a whole thing about that you're bowing to the patriarchy and all of that. And I know it's a super controversial subject right now. And I can see both sides of it. But personally, I think as long as you ask yourself the questions of whether you're doing these things for yourself or if you're doing them because you want to be something that you think somebody else wants you to look like. And I hope that I'm putting that in the right words. I don't know, it's if you're doing it for yourself, like I do some things, like I get Botox, I'm completely transparent. I get Botox and I've been getting Botox for probably close to 12 years now. I get it because I don't like looking in the mirror and looking like I feel like I'm looking tired. For me, that is how I want to age. I don't want to look at myself in the mirror and look like I'm tired all the time. But clearly, I chose to stop coloring my hair. Honestly, that was more for laziness and to save some money than it was anything else. And it ended up being a good decision. But when I decided to stop coloring my hair, I always told myself if I didn't like how it turned out, I could always start coloring my hair again. I was never anti-coloring my hair. That is not why I chose to stop coloring my hair. But all that to be said, to come back to the point that I actually want to make here, is that with this the anti-discrimination against aging theme that happens to be going on right now, I think what's missing is not the stuff that people think you shouldn't be doing, like the Botox or the coloring your hair or whatever it is that you should be aging naturally by not doing those things. What's lost is the stuff that you really should be doing in order to age naturally and healthily. And one of the biggest of those is strength training. It is probably the most boring and probably the hardest for us to do, but it is no new news that we all start losing muscle mass. Women especially lose muscle mass at an extraordinary rate starting in our 40s, if not even a little bit earlier. As our estrogen starts to drop, our muscle mass starts to drop too. And with that, we lose a lot of other things like our ability to balance, the tone of our bodies, even the shape of our faces. So much stuff starts to, for lack of a better word, age when we start to lose that muscle mass. So strength training is by far the best thing that you can do. And like I said, it's just hard. It's been hard for me. I will get on spurts and I'll be doing my strength training and then I'll go on a big trip and then it's really hard for me to get back into it. And I will I'll take my little exercise bands with me and I'll try to do workouts while I'm traveling too. But it is definitely the hardest thing for me to continually have in my routine on a daily basis. Having good muscle mass is so important for so many different things in your body besides just having the muscle. It is also fantastic for your balance, and balance is so incredibly important as we get older. My mother just fell a few months ago and ended up fracturing her fibula just by stepping in a hole in the garden, and she lost her balance and fell and, snapped her fibula. Luckily, she has recovered quite easily and is doing very well. But balance is incredibly important as we get older. And, building our muscle mass also helps increase our bone density, which again helps with not getting those fractures or, hip issues when we get older, all of those things that affect us. There isn't much that building muscle and having good muscle mass isn't going to help with as you get older. I feel like as Gen X women, we were sold such a lie as we were growing up that, building muscle and being muscular women was such a bad thing, and that this is where I do blame the patriarchy for some of what we have ended up with our mental ideas of what we should look like as women. Because in the 80s and 90s, there's that whole like skinny heroin chic, look. And, in the 80s too, many of the models were not, nobody had muscles. Well, Elle Macpherson was probably had the most like lean muscular body from, from the swimsuit, Sports Illustrated swimsuit models. Everybody else was kind of soft. I mean, if you think about Christy Brinkley, even Brooke Shields, I mean, they were kind of like softer, feminine bodies. Nobody really had a lot of muscle. I mean, Brooke Shields looks amazing now. You talk about a girl who is like leaned into building her muscles. She has done a great job. But we just grew up with the muscle. Looking muscular was not feminine. Let's just put it that way. And I do blame the patriarchy on that. And we need to get that out of our minds now. Having muscle as older ladies is imperative. And it looks amazing. Our clothes fit better. We can eat more. We can balance. We're going to keep our bodies safe from those bone fractures that we could possibly get. So many positive things for building muscle. I just can't say enough about it. And I think that it just doesn't get talked about enough, or at least with the enthusiasm that it needs to be talked about. But, you can't make money. Well, I mean, there are some people who can sell workout programs, but there's no pills to be sold. There's no powders to be sold. There's no vitamins that are going to give you muscles. Like, you have to do the hard work of working out in order to build those muscles. And that's probably why nobody is actually marketing it. Well, it looks like I am finally finished with the first cabinet here. Let's put it against the wall and see what it looks like. Okay, so step one is done. I am going to have to move that sign over so that it's a little more centered, but I think it looks really good. It's a little wider than I thought it was, but that's okay. I'm excited. I'm going to be putting you can't see it there. I'm going to be putting my shoes down in the bottom of that cabinet, like my flip-flops and stuff like that when I come in from the beach. Yeah, I'm super excited. I think it looks good. Now I got to build my bench and finish, and then get my little workout area set up over here too. I have to share with you guys that the book that I'm listening to on Audible right now while I'm putting together this furniture is, let's say, a little saucy. And there's a couple of times that I've been like, oh, got to go in and turn down the speaker because, they don't want the neighbors coming over going, what are you listening to? Oh, yeah. Didn't realize that was what this book was going to be about. Last year, I had this beautiful draping viney porthos that I had all up on the wall here. And I desperately tried to save it this winter when we had our ice and snowstorms. I put a big tarp over it. I was hoping that the heat coming from the walls from the trailer would keep it warm enough, but it just could not survive. We had 10 2 or 3 weeks of really, really frigid weather here, and that plant was not made for that kind of weather. So I am getting ready. I went to Lowe's and I picked up 2 golden leafed pothos to replace the one. So I'm going to put 2 of them up here this year. And this year I think I'm not going to have it vine up onto the ceiling and the wall. I think I'm just going to let them grow and drop down, and then I will probably try to find a place inside to put them this winter so that I can keep them over the winter. There's just something about having green plants on the porch. I've got a couple of fake plants over here, the palms that I have behind the sofa, which are nice, but having real plants out here in the summertime, it gives me that kind of jungle vibe that I'm looking for, that relaxing boho jungle vibe. I just really like it. I do have my Monstera inside that I had out here on the porch last year, and I'm thinking about bringing it back out, or I'm thinking about maybe getting something else, because I really like the place that it is, where it is inside the living room. I like where it is right now. So I don't know. I got to think about that. That might be something that comes a little bit later, because those plants are expensive. The really pretty ones you're going to spend a pretty penny on. And I only have so much room inside my trailer to store plants in the wintertime. So I'm going to have to think about that one a little bit. But it's time for me to go pot those new pothos that I picked up and get those up here on the porch to get rid of the ugly dead plant here. Man, it is. Yeah, I'm so sad.
I hope we don't fail to see the beauty of being free. Don't forget what you love the most. I just wanna keep you close, so we have to give it one more try before the idiots are taking over. They're caught up in the race of wanting more, and we can tell one from the other. No one can tell you what they're running from. No one knows anymore. What's it for? What's it for? There's so much more than we've been told, way beyond what we can hold. So keep your eyes open for the things that really matter. Oh, we have to give it one more try, now that the idiots are taking over. They're caught up in the race of wanting more, and we can tell one from the other. No one can tell you what they're running from. No one knows anymore. What's it for?
I used to have a table here, and I had some decorations on here, and on the old table, not on the new table, of course, I haven't done that yet. So I think they're out in the shed. I had some shells and some bowls with some more of my my white milk gloss collection bowls that I had out here with some shells in it. So I'm going to go see what I have in the shed to spruce this up with. And I think I'm going to hang I've got my beach house sign that's inside, and I think maybe later on, I'm thinking about that, whether I'm going to hang that beach house sign here or do something else. And that may happen later this summer. The other thing that I'm thinking of doing is there's a spot over there behind my Stay Salty sign here that is right next to my bench for the workout equipment here, that I might get like a potted tree or tree type plant. I'm not sure what that's going to look like, but I might put that to get a little more green living stuff here on the porch up here. And then the last thing I want to do to finish this out, because I'm not going to be doing all of this for this video. I'm going to decorate the entry table, and that's pretty much going to be my last thing besides finishing setting up my workout area here. But one thing I do want to look for is whoops, I don't know if the camera is going to let me show. Down here, right here, is where I collect my my recycling when I don't want to go so far out to my carport to put my recycling in the actual recycle bin. So I put it in this little container here, and I like to get something a little prettier for that. And those are the last few things that I think will finish up this porch and make it really fun to use this summer. I'm very excited. The neighbors, we just got like 3 inches of rain yesterday, and the neighbor's watering system is coming on. Yeah, they don't monitor it very well. Oh, what a waste. I am not really sure what to do with this shell. It's so cool. I think it's something from my grandparents' house. I'm almost positive it's from my grandparents' house. They used to have a gift store down here, and it was called Sales and Shells, like sailboat sails and seashells. And I'm pretty sure this was something that they got for like a display at their store. And I know I had it up on the table that was here before. So I'm going to put it up here for now, but I'm not sure. It kind of blends in with the wood. I'm not sure it stands out enough. I might have to do something else with that. Okay, I've got a couple more things to bring out, and then I think I'm going to be done with what I'm going to try to accomplish on the porch for this session. We may revisit the porch later this summer. We'll see. Okay, I think that is all out in the shed that I can find right now, because the shed is a tad messy, and that is a project that is coming up very soon. Very, very soon. I don't want it to get too hot before I do the shed, because there is a lot of stuff that needs to be reorganized in there and perhaps let go of. So this is what I'm going to do for now, and I'm going to go finish pulling all of the workout gear out and setting that into the bench. And yeah, then I think we're going to be pretty close to being done with this project. I think that there is a strong argument, pun definitely intended, for y'all especially that watch my channel, because most of y'all have come here for travel reasons. And if you are doing strength training as a traveler, you're just going to have more fun on your travels. You're going to be able to go on those hikes to those beautiful waterfalls. You're going to be able to climb the stairs in the castle. You're going to be able to carry your luggage around Portugal or Paris or Rome and haul your carry-on across cobblestones because you have been doing the strength training at home. I mean, I've talked about this before. I've done other videos on working out and staying fit over 50 so that you can enjoy your travels more. And I just think every time that I'm trying to get into the mindset of working out more and more, those are the things that keep coming back to me as motivation to keep working out every day, or almost every day. Whatever age that you have found yourself watching this video today, you are never going to be younger than this age again. And starting at 50 is going to be better than starting at 60, but starting at 60 is going to be better than starting at 70. It is never too late to start doing something for yourself, and it is never going to be easier to start than today. So make it a point tomorrow or this week sometime and go find your porch or your gym or your space on your carpet in your living room and start doing a little something for strength training. It doesn't have to be much. You just have to start. In fact, all I am doing currently is a short little 15 to 20 minute strength training exercises that I do 4 days a week, and that is it. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you have, just start doing a little something. Now, I know this porch is not fancy and it definitely is not Pinterest worthy, but it is mine. And I am going to show up on this porch tomorrow and I am going to do my workout. And that's all we really need to do, is to find our own porch somewhere, whatever that may be for you, and just show up.